Okay, hold up. 8 years in prison, probated for 10? It's a huge break. But here's the kicker. Probation isn't a get-out-of-jail-free card. It's a second chance wrapped in rules. Break 1? You risk cashing in that full sentence?
Okay, we now call the 18-2975, the state of Texas versus Feliz Moore. That's you?
Yes.
Present with your attorney, Mr. Adams, and the state's attorney. There is a motion to revoke probation here in this case. Does the defendant waive a formal reading of this motion? Can we proceed in summary?
Yes, sir.
And this was filed on April 3rd of 2025.
Yes.
Raise your right hand, ma'am. Do you solemnly swear or affirm any statements you make during this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
2 failed alcohol tests while on probation. That's like setting off the smoke alarm and then blaming the batteries. Judges don't look kindly on breaking one of the golden rules. Stay clean. Especially when that was the whole deal for avoiding prison in the first place.
In summary, this motion states that on August 27th, 2018, in this court, you were sentenced to 8 years in prison, and that was probated for 10 years for the third-degree felony of operating a motor vehicle while intoxicated. Is that true?
Yes.
All right. 1 states you failed to report to the Jefferson County Probation Office, and you were required to report by mailing or online for the months of February through December of 2024 and January of 2025, as ordered by the court in your probation order. Is that true?
I had no idea. I was reporting.
Well, what is it? Okay, what is it she's going to be pleading true to, if any of this? I mean, I didn't. We'll have a hearing here in a little while, but I thought she was pleading true to something or two.
You know what? Let me tell you.
Yes, that I test positive.
Why did she test positive for drugs and then she didn't blow?
I test positive for alcohol.
And it was at the bottom, judges.
Number 3 states. Number 3 states you failed to abstain from the use of any and all intoxicating substances, including alcohol, in that you provided a urine sample on or about December 19th, 2024, and also January 17th, 2025 in Orange County, which showed the presence of alcohol in your system in violation of your probation order. Is that true or untrue?
It's true.
Here's where it gets real. Pleading true to just 1 violation is enough to send you back behind bars. But now, she's admitting to 2. That's like handing the judge the keys to your cell.
Number 6 states you failed to submit to alcohol tests by failing to submit to the, I'm not sure what this means. Well, what is she? Was this at the probation office or were these the interlock device?
These are at the probation.
At the probation office on September 1st, 3rd, 6th, 7th, 10th, 11th, 20th, and 23rd of 2024, October 2nd, 4th, 10th, 11th, 12th, and 18th of 2024, November 2nd, 7th, and 9th of 2024, December 10th, 15th, 20th, 21st, 25th, and 27th of 2024, January 1st, 18th, and 25th of this year, 2025, all as directed by the court in your probation order. Is that true or untrue?
It does on the interview. Yeah.
Right, you didn't.
But she said,
Yeah, I missed
I'm sorry,
she has a portable,
a portable,
breathalyzer.
okay, there's a difference. That's different from an interlock device. It's a portable thing. An interlock device keeps you from starting the car.
Yes, sir.
The other item you have to blow in, that doesn't affect the car starting.
Yes, sir.
Which one is it that you didn't? The portable. Okay. So is that allegation true or untrue as it is alleged?
Yes.
Are you pleading true to that as well as true to allegation number 3 that you pleaded true to? Are you pleading true voluntarily, knowingly, intelligently, and because those allegations are true as they are alleged? You understand? By pleading true voluntarily and knowingly to one or more violations of probation, that is enough to grant a motion to revoke probation. Your probation could be now revoked, and you could be sentenced to no less than 2 nor more than 8 years confinement in prison.
Before.
I'm sorry.
It's account for
I'm sorry.
Quick legal sidebar. When a defendant agrees to a plea deal that caps prison time like the 4-year max here, they also waive the right to appeal. It's all or nothing now. Whatever the judge says sticks.
No, this is, you're jumping ahead on it.
Okay, I got you.
But just follow with me. We got to put this on the record. You were sentenced to 8 years in prison, probated for 10 years. Do you understand here, without any kind of an agreement, you are subject to no less than 2 nor more than 8 years confinement in prison for one or more violations of probation. Knowing that, do you insist on pleading true today to allegations 3 and 6 of this motion to revoke probation? I find you are pleading true voluntarily, knowingly, intelligently, and upon discussions with your attorney. You understand and appreciate the consequences of pleading true. Now, there's an agreement that I'm looking at here. Where this says you would be pleading true, admitting to violations of probation, and whatever decision the court reaches, it cannot exceed 4 years in prison. So this is looking at really 2 options here. Your probation could be revoked. You could be sentenced to no less than 2 nor more than 4 years confinement in prison. Also, I could continue you on probation as an option. I think those are the only options here.
That's correct, Judge.
Is that your understanding of the agreement that's been reached between you and your attorney and the state? If I follow this agreement, I'm going to follow this agreement. We'll see where it plays out. You have no right of appeal of your case. Do you understand? If whatever decision I make within this agreement, you can't appeal it. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to show you what's marked as State's Exhibit 1 here. Did you sign that document voluntarily? Understand it, discuss it with your attorney, or the contents all true and correct? State's Exhibit 1 is tendered into evidence without objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
Admitted. And this re-verifies that if I follow this agreement, which I'm going to do whatever it is, it will be within the boundaries of this agreement.
3 kids, a sick mom, mental health struggles, it's all valid. But here's the uncomfortable truth. The court isn't judging the circumstances, it's judging the choices. And in the eyes of the law, excuses don't erase violations.
All have reached, you have no right of appeal of your case. All right. And by the way, you have about 1 year credit in time served.
I have a year.
351 days is what she's figured up. If that's, and that's all the computer data. If that's different, let us know.
Yes, sir.
All right. Go ahead, Langston.
Judge, I'm asking that you consider keeping her on probation for various reasons. One reason in particular being is to my understanding and talking with her, she's never been to the penitentiary a day of her life. Right? You did come in.
Yes, sir.
She's never been to the penitentiary.
So what's the point on that?
Well, no. Well,
everybody goes, the people who go to prison,
right.
they all go to prison sometime for the first time.
Right. But in this particular case, with your administrative hearing that you had, and I think the court had signed this on 3/18/25, one of the things that points out.
Hold on. Look, I'm looking at this 2015 conviction. It states for driving while intoxicated with a child passenger. It says she was sentenced to 2 years in the state jail.
She told me she's no.
And that was revoked, and she was sentenced to 7 months. She was 2 years in the state jail, probated for 5 years, and then that was revoked in 2018, and she was sentenced to 7 months in state jail.
That's prison. But did you tell me?
But I was in the county, and I just went to state.
But
Oh,
I know you never walked into the prison. You stayed in the county, but you still were convicted and sentenced to 7 months and given credit for time served. But the judgment says you were sentenced to 7 months. That was the sentence.
Oh.
You just never walked into a prison. You did all your time in the
In the
county
county.
jail.
And
So Judge, that's what she meant when she told me she never went to the prison. That's what she told me.
Hold on,
that's-
there's another one here.
Yes, sir. She went to the state PO.
Yeah, there was a DWI third. In 2018, she was sentenced to 8 years probation in that. That's this case. That's this case.
That's good.
Then you've got a 2010, you were placed on probation for theft, a misdemeanor, 1 year deferred probation, that was revoked, and you were sentenced to 30 days in the county jail. And it looks like what happened, you committed another theft and you were sentenced to 30 years in the county jail at the same time. So you had a revocation of probation and a new theft case, and you served those together. Then the DWI misdemeanor, in 2014, you were sentenced to 90 days in the jail, probated for 1 year. That was ultimately revoked in 2015, and you were sentenced to 90 days in the county jail there.
yes,
So you've been sentenced to county jail 1, 2, 3 on at least 3 cases of misdemeanors, then convicted of a state jail felony that was revoked and sentenced to 7 months in the state jail. And then we've got this DWI third here. That occurred after you were 2 years. Yeah, 2 years after you were placed on probation for the state jail. Not quite 2 years, less than 2 years. In fact, it was right before you were finished that 2 year. But you were on 5 years probation in 2016, and in February of 18, you pick up this DWI third. Okay.
So, I'm glad that they would correct that, because I just went off of what she told me. But what I was looking at particularly was in the administrative report, and that's on page 2 of 3. And it had in here where she admitted to relapsing on alcohol in 2024 and January 2025, resulting in positive behaviors. She reported she felt she was drowning due to stress resulting from the alcohol use. And a good positive thing I said is that when she questioned more and when she acknowledged what she learned from P, she said that P had helped to get her off of PCP and cocaine, which is a positive.
Benzyclidine.
Right, well, I'm saying that's a positive because she's not using that, and she's not using her problem. That's been years. Her positive is that her only problem.
That's a serious crime.
yes, sir.
Right.
And I know I look more on paper for you. This is the
That's
longest I
your,
have been
Right.
clean.
you're judged by the choices you make.
Yes,
Okay.
Right, and I
You can always start making better choices. That's what's so great about things.
and I have put straight up that I have been making better choices. I
Benzyclidine,
did.
you're lucky to be alive.
Yes, sir.
I mean, really, that's,
I have
it
just
causes people to
3
get up on the
years.
top of a building and jump, thinking they're flying. I mean, benzyclidine is just straight from the devil.
Yes, sir.
no doubt about it. And just the reason I brought that up is as she just said that she's been clean on the PCP for the cocaine for 3 years. The safety did help her with that,
Good.
and I think that was put in the report. That's what I read from the report. And what I'm saying, Judge, is that if you continue on supervision, her main, I guess, demon to use that word, is alcohol. And I think that she's going to be willing to continue with her alcohol treatment. In the report, it said that you were swamped in stress and you were swamped in mental problems. Can you tell the court, what are some problems that were driving you to drink?
And there it is. 3 years in prison. Credit for time served? Yes. But this sentence is more than a number. It's the 5th broken promise. And the system just ran out of second chances. The law gives grace, but it also keeps receipts.
The alcohol. What was going on when you posted that?
Just everyday life, and I finally decided to put forth the effort
What do you
to.
mean everyday life?
I have children. I'm a single mother of 3 children, and I
got
started piecing my life together.
Dependents.
Yes, sir.
They rely on you to role model.
Yes, sir.
which you haven't done.
And I
it's-
relapsed,
it's-
severe relapse.
Okay.
But I put forth, and I went about 1 to 2, and then she specifically for my probation officer. They said that, and then with him, I tried.
Where the children? Who's taking care of them?
Willing to take full responsibility for my children.
You're supposed to be willing to take responsibility before you make choices to commit crimes
I do.
while you're a parent, while you're on probation. I mean, that's, you can't say, it's hard to say, well, now I'm going to start following the rules now.
Yeah, when,
Because you still had, you had those same responsibilities when you
Yes.
made these bad choices
I did.
while on probation.
and I let my probation officer know when I relapsed. And I told her.
Oh, I know, but your probation officer is not your choice making. You are your choice maker.
Yes, sir, that's true.
And you have to, he doesn't pay for the consequences, you do.
Yeah, I do.
And your children do.
So,
Family,
so can you tell the judge, considering, and you acknowledge the choices that you made,
yes.
and
Being
the burden,
selfish.
you were selfish, and as a burden is on your mama with the, how many kids?
3.
3 kids. And how old is your mom?
It's in the 50s.
All right. And does she have any other responsibilities?
Yes, and she's, yeah,
And what's her illness?
she didn't have the same problems.
Right. So if you continue on supervision, you will be able to take care of your own kids, right?
Yes,
But then more importantly, as far as what got you here today, as Judge said, is your choices. What are we gonna do about the alcohol issues moving forward?
I'm going to continue to go to AA, Orange AA, like I had been doing,
Well,
tapping into with my sponsor, continue with my steps, pick up what I left off.
how far did you advance in AA and with your sponsoring your steps? How far did you advance?
So step 2. Actually, it was with my sponsor, we had a great relationship.
So when all this started to trickle down, with you, with the blowing and the failure with the alcohol, you said stress of everyday life, but you gotta explain more specifically what that stress was.
Yes, with my own mental health, and I have 2 children with mental health issues as well.
And what are their issues?
What's abnormal about any of that? That's what
Yes, sir.
everybody every day's got responsibilities when you're a parent.
And I
To,
understand.
not, to the children and yourself.
Yes, sir.
I mean, you're not telling me anything that everybody in America and across the world have to deal with,
Yes.
but you're just making excuses for it. But we, over and over and over again, we have called your hand on it, and you continue to relapse to bad choice making.
I'm trying to make excuses to the stations.
So really, all you're doing right now is promising, making a statement. That's all you really have. Your choices have been different, which is what counts. But all you're doing is saying, I'm not going to get in trouble. I'm not going to do this again.
I'm changing my life. You can see on paper that I haven't caught any new cases. This is the longest I've been without any new cases.
Let me read to you what you signed here when you were placed on. Let me do you what you were placed when you were placed on probation, like officer, probation officer. All the people on probation.
Yes, sir.
I agree to follow all conditions imposed upon me, and I know that community supervision can be revoked for any violation. Sign your name. You made a promise to me then, which you've broken. Now again.
So the big question I think you need to actually answer, hey, Judge Stevens, is if you made that promise then and it was broken, if he gives you another shot, what assurances that you can give him that the promise won't be broken again? How about that? Follow the logic.
Yes.
His logic is, the judge's logic is that, hey, you made these promises, right?
Yes.
And then you broke these promises, right? And today we're asking for another shot, right? So then the question, I think the obvious question is what assurances that you can give him today that that won't happen again? Now you speak in your own words, talk to him.
Yes, sir. Like I said earlier, that I was going to continue to go to my AA meetings and get back with my sponsor, but only start from square one, and continue to be honest with my probation officer and get myself into an inpatient rehabilitation center.
Well, you weren't honest with him.
So,
I mean, continue to be honest with him. You weren't honest with him.
well, when I let them know that I had relapsed after a year,
You made, in 2010, you were placed on probation for theft. You made a promise, a written promise,
yes, sir.
and that was revoked. That promise you broke. It was revoked in 2011. In 2014, you were placed on probation for DWI. You made a promise. a written promise. I will follow all the terms and probation. You failed, and that was revoked in 2015. In the felony DWI, you in 2000, the driving while intoxicated with a child passenger, you were placed on probation, made a promise, signed it
Yes.
in 2016. You broke that promise, and that was revoked and sentenced to 7 months in the state jail. I mean, really, don't you think you've been given more than a fair opportunity to do the right thing and make the right choices? All you have here is another promise. But hey, I placed you on probation in 2018.
Yes.
You made a promise directly to me, and you've admitted you've broken that promise. That's the fourth promise you've made on legal matters where we stuck our neck out and put you on probation.
You know, when I was still on drugs.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You made promises. You could have changed any moment. All right.
But I'm not on drugs anymore.
Yeah, but it's still abuse. It's alcohol abuse now.
Yes.
It's still intoxication. Still, or you get in behind a 4,000-pound missile or vehicle, intoxicated, whether it's drugs or alcohol, and you're lethal.
And instead of allowing my life to continue to spiral out of control, I went to my probation officer and I told them what was going on with my
Thank God, because it saved other people out there who are in harm's way from your bad choices.
Yeah.
Okay. What are you asking for?
Judge, I was asking that you continue on supervision, but in the event that you don't, since it's a cap for, you pointed out that
Yes.
she got the 7 months in the state jail. To clarify, when she said that she actually never went to the PNP, but she did the 7 months in the county, a progressive sanction if you choose not to keep her on supervision. I'm asking that you don't hit her with 4 years, that 2 years would be progressive because you're going from 7 months to 2. And that would be an increase from the last sentence that you got. So if the court does not continue her on supervision, I'm asking for 2 years, and that would be a progressive increase from the 7 months.
All right, stay.
I disagree with what the defendant is asking for and what the defense attorney is asking for.
Go ahead.
I refer you back to the administrative hearing, and I would point out to you, Judge, that I appreciate Mr. Menard being here, but this is Ms. LeBlanc's case, and she's actually on vacation. She cares enough about this that she sent me an email stating that if this was
Do you have a copy of that for him?
the email she sent me about her conflict and schedule. No, I didn't send that to
You were
you.
about to make, she was going to make a comment on the case, but.
No, I just know that she's genuinely concerned about her
Okay.
caseload.
Well,
And so
all
I want
probation officers seem to be care.
I want to highlight three sentences from the administrative hearing. She stated, remaining drug-free and alcohol-free has been a challenge for the defendant throughout this probation. She has been afforded the opportunity of this department's most intensive substance abuse treatment from the beginning of probation to give her the best chance of being successful. Then I'm going to highlight the last sentence. At this point, probation has exhausted all available resources and interventions to assist the defendant and refer her back to the court. In other words, probation can't do anything more. She's gotten the benefit of every program that we can do. And to do what counsel is asking for and reward her for this conduct by giving her the minimum is not what I suggest.
Okay.
I agreed to a cap of 4 years because her exposure was 8. I was cutting that time in half to recognize that we've done everything we could. I think 4 is appropriate, Judge.
All right. Anything you'd like to say? It's your life. Anything?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anything else?
That I would like to return to go to an inpatient treatment.
Anything else you can say from the defense?
Judge, I'm just asking, like I said, the 2 years would be progressive on top of the 7. But if not, she's saying that she's changed her life and that if you give her one more shot, the promise that she broke in the past, it won't break now.
4 separate times, 4 separate promises. This would be a 5th promise, right? I mean, we walked it through. From the probation office, does the sir, on behalf of probation office, the probation office has exhausted its resources, this case.
Yes,
And-
we have resolved those.
And that further supervision would be futile.
Yes.
All right. Anything else? If not, I'm going to find that there is sufficient evidence supporting this motion to revoke probation to grant it by a preponderance of the evidence or greater, as allegations 3 and 6 have been proven true by a preponderance of the evidence or greater, as the defendant has pleaded true to those voluntarily, knowingly, intelligently, and understanding and appreciating the consequences of revocation and imprisonment. Your probation here is hereby revoked. I am following this agreement. You are hereby sentenced to confinement in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice to serve a term of 3 years. You will be given credit for the 351 days that you have served in accordance with that. Do you understand what has happened to the?
So what about
You need-
the time?
You will give credit, be given credit. Sept is not something I have information of, but you will be given credit for all time you have served. You need to be more focused. We'll do our job up here. You need to be more focused on following the rules and being a responsible parent.
Yes, sir.
That's all on this. Thank you. Well, what about Lindsay Maynard?
That's what
I know. What are we going to do on this? It says defendant is competent now. What are we going
right.
to do?
Give me 1 week at the most, or 2 weeks at the most, and I'll try to work on it.
Okay.
And I believe that's the 3 I had today, Judge.
Next is Eddie
I'm sorry.
Davis.
You've already on the line that I got